Was Morpheus created by the Oracle? Some time ago we discussed why Morpheus, one of the children of Zion and leader of the Red Pills, was wrong, and how every action he took benefited the Matrix, that instead of helping to free humanity, he only purged them deeper into layers of the simulation. Morpheus was declared dead in the Matrix Resurrections, but it could all still be part of the architect's lie. And so in this video, we'll compile the reasons why Morpheus was right all along, that he was a creation of the Oracle, and how all of this connects to Matrix 5. Welcome to Matrix Explained.
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Morpheus was a leader who helped dozens of humans awaken from the Matrix, embodying the typical archetype of the savior and mentor, but his story begins long before the Matrix. Number 5. Morpheus's origins as a leader. He was possibly a potential like the children in the Oracle's apartment. How do we know that Morpheus woke up when he was a child? Well, because the first time we meet Morpheus, he tells Neo that he spent his entire life looking for him.
That is why there are those of us who have spent our entire lives searching the Matrix, looking for him.
Morpheus also mentioned that they tend to wake up the imprisoned at a young age.
We never free a mind once it's reached a certain age. It's dangerous. The mind has trouble letting go.
Morpheus, having spent his life looking for Neo, and the Red Pill's rule of waking up only the young, leads us to the conclusion that Morpheus was freed from the simulation during his adolescence. In the Miller's Tale comic book, a young Morpheus is telling the story of the first inhabitants of Zion who grew wheat and baked bread. An interesting detail about this comic is that it depicts Morpheus as a natural leader from a young age, leading Zion rituals. He was beloved and respected by everyone, but the people's perception of Morpheus would later change. During his youth, he met another young Red Pill named Niobe. She was possibly Morpheus's first love. They both participated in the Zion rituals together, hinted by Niobe's recollection that Morpheus was a good dancer.
I remember you used to dance. I remember you were pretty good.
There are some things in this world, Captain Niobe, that will never change.
Something did change in their relationship, and this change was caused by the Oracle.
Niobe.
Captain Niobe?
She used to be with Morpheus. Now she's with Locke.
What happened?
Morpheus went to the Oracle. After that, everything changed.
Yeah, she can do that.
After Morpheus met the Oracle and was given the prophecy that he would find the savior of humanity, he changed from being a Red Pill to a fanatic of the Oracle's prophecy. Morpheus's story gets darker from here. In the book The Art of the Matrix, there are many cut scenes from the film script that gives us a glimpse at what happened before the movie began. According to an earlier draft of the Matrix script, Morpheus thought that he had found the one 5 times before finding Neo. Each one of them died. Neo's predecessor was a man named Eddie. He was freed from the Matrix, but he still had someone important living in the simulation, his girlfriend. One night, Eddie entered the Matrix in secret to meet with his girlfriend, but he was caught by Smith and the other agents. After discovering what happened to Eddie, Morpheus had no choice but to unplug the man from the simulation before the agents could get any information out of him. And as you know, unplugging someone without them reaching an exit kills them. Smith asked Morpheus how many more had to die. "Hello, Morpheus." Silence. "You've lost another one. How many is that?" "I've lost count, but I'm sure you haven't." "This one?" He was weak, even weaker than the last. The phone crackles with static. "Will it be the next that finally gives you away? What did you expect? Fighting inevitability? No matter. It won't be long now. Every loss brings me closer to you, Morpheus. Closer to Zion." The line goes dead. Suddenly, Eddie's body seizes up. He reaches into the air, grabbing at nothing, screaming no. And then his body collapses, perfectly still, perfectly dead. In this version of the script, Cypher tells Neo about his 5 predecessors and what happened to them. He also warns him about Morpheus. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret here. Now don't tell him I told you this, but this ain't the first time Morpheus thought he found the one. Really, you bet your ass. It keeps him going. Maybe it keeps all of us going. How many were there? 5, since I've been here. What happened to them? Dead. All dead. How? Honestly? Morpheus. He got them all amped up believing in bullshit. I watched each one of them take on an agent, and I watched each one of them die. Little piece of advice? You see an agent, you do what we do. Run. Run your ass off. Morpheus's obsession with finding the one drove Niobe away, who later forms a relationship with Locke. Morpheus's only focus was to find the one. His infamy in the Matrix grew and was classified as a most wanted criminal by the machines. Here the Matrix film begins. Morpheus and his crew are searching for the one. One of his crew members, Trinity, was also given a prophecy that connects her to the one. They eventually find Neo, and Morpheus is convinced that he is the one. Trinity believes it as well for more personal reasons. They awaken Neo from the Matrix. Morpheus teaches everything he needs to know and later takes him to meet the Oracle. Morpheus believed that the most important thing for humanity was the one, so he sacrificed himself so that Neo could escape the agents. Little did Morpheus know that by doing so, he gave Neo the courage to rescue him and finally become the one.
What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
How?
He is the one.
Morpheus witnessed the Oracle's prophecies coming true. However, this leader's story was just beginning. With the imminent threat of 250,000 Sentinels approaching Zion, Morpheus still believed in the prophecy and Neo. He was convinced that Zion was not in any danger. Regrettably, Neo's journey led him to the Architect and the horrifying discovery that the prophecy was a lie. It was nothing more than another system of control.
It was a lie, Morpheus. The prophecy was a lie. The one was never meant to end anything. It was all another system of control.
Morpheus found himself in a terrible situation. The realization that he had wasted his life following false prophecies and lies. His faith was shattered, and Morpheus did something he never did before. He doubted the Oracle.
After everything that has happened, how can you expect me to believe you?
I don't.
Regardless of the truth, Neo sacrificed himself to save humanity and fulfilled the prophecy. The last time we see Morpheus, he was holding Niobe in disbelief that the war had come to an end, that Neo had saved everyone. The Morpheus at the end of Matrix Revolutions is one who had lost all hope and trust in the Oracle. But what if Morpheus was the Oracle's son? Number 4. Did the Oracle create Morpheus? Morpheus, masterfully played by Lawrence Fishburne, is one of the most iconic and key characters in the Matrix series. He is Neo's mentor, who freed him from the Matrix and guides him on his path to becoming the One. But what's in a name? What does Morpheus' name reveal about his character and his role in the Matrix? In Greek mythology, Morpheus is one of the 1,000 sons of Hypnos, the god of sleep. He and his siblings, known collectively as Oniri, were keepers of human dreams. Morpheus, in particular, was the god of prophetic dreams. This detail is crucial because it symbolizes malleability and transformation, two recurring themes in the Matrix. Morpheus could enter the dreams of mortals and take any human form within them. This ability to appear in dreams and manipulate them allowed him to influence the human perception. The myth of Morpheus in Greek mythology is often depicted with him holding a bunch of poppy flowers and a horn with which he sends dreams to mortals. The poppies are a reference to hypnosis and inducing sleep, and the horn represents the abundance and fullness of dreams that Morpheus can provide. In the Matrix, Morpheus offers Neo a red pill, red as a poppy flower, that induces a dream, which serves to awaken Neo from the Matrix. Morpheus is the one who helps Neo and many others wake up from their dreams in the Matrix. The Matrix is a simulated reality created by machines, in where the people believe they are living normal lives, when in truth, they are prisoners in a digital world. Morpheus's purpose is to free them and show them the truth. His role in the film mirrors his namesake in Greek mythology. Morpheus, the Greek god of dreams, can enter dreams and manipulate the perception within them. Similarly, Morpheus in the Matrix travels between reality and the simulation, altering how those he encounters view the world. We saw this clearly in the famous scene where he welcomes Neo to the real world. But the symbolism of Morpheus's name goes far beyond his role as a metaphorical alarm clock. The name also reflects his faith and hope in the prophecy of the One. Despite the desolation and despair of the real world, Morpheus dreams of the liberation of humanity. He dreams of a world freed from the oppression of the Matrix. His faith in Neo and his belief in the prophecy of the One are what sustains Morpheus, even when others are in doubt.
When the Matrix was first built, there was a man born inside who had the ability to change whatever he wanted, to remake the Matrix as he saw fit. It was he who freed the first of us, taught us the truth. After he died, the Oracle prophesied his return, and that his coming would hail the destruction of the Matrix, end the war, bring freedom to our people. That is why there are those of us who have spent our entire lives searching the Matrix, looking for him. I did what I did because I believe that search is over.
Additionally, Morpheus as the god of dreams is associated with imagination, possibility, and potential. In the Matrix, Morpheus constantly challenges Neo to overcome his perceived limitations, to imagine a world beyond the restrictions imposed by the Matrix. Free your mind, he tells Neo, urging him to envision a version of himself that transcends the limitations of the simulation.
You have to let it all go, Neo. Fear, doubt, and disbelief. Free your mind.
Morpheus's faith and his ability to awaken others from the illusion of the Matrix are the defining factors of his character. His name is a window into his role and nature in the Matrix series, a reflection of his mission to free humanity from slavery and his faith in the prophecy of the One. Therefore, from his name to his actions, mystical beliefs are also a fundamental part of his character. Another interpretation could be through the concept of morphogenesis, a term used in biology to describe the process by which an organism develops its shape. Within the context of the Matrix, Morpheus could be seen as an agent of morphogenesis for Neo and others, helping them develop and take shape in their new reality after being released from the Matrix. However, behind the name hides a terrible reality. Morpheus could have been created in a certain way by the Oracle. The choice of the name Morpheus was not coincidental. It could be argued that there is a premeditated strategy behind it, linking it to the Oracle. According to this theory, the Oracle, in her effort to control humanity, could have analyzed our cultures, our histories, and our beliefs to find the best way to manipulate us. One of the most powerful factors influencing us is religion. Religious beliefs and archetypes are very powerful, affecting our emotions, actions, and our perception of the world. Considering this, the Oracle could have used these archetypes to model the characters of Morpheus and Neo to maximize their impact on the humans. Morpheus, for example, is aligned with the Greek god of dreams. Like the god Morpheus, he can alter perceived reality, which is a desirable and powerful trait in a leader or savior. Neo, however, bears many similarities to messianic figures of various religions. He is the prophesied chosen one, the one who will come to free us. This could be seen as a perversion of our culture and religious expectations. Thus, the Oracle could have used our bias towards religious archetypes and our tendencies to follow those who embody these type of characters to perpetuate the manipulation. By giving Morpheus and Neo characteristics that are attractive to us on a very deep level, she could ensure that they would be followed and thus continue the control of humanity in the Matrix. So is Morpheus one of the Oracle's creations? In our search for answers, we stumbled upon a hidden story within the film that might offer further clues about Morpheus's true purpose in the simulation. Number 3. The Apocryphal History of Morpheus. First, let's talk about how we found this Morpheus story, which as far as we know, is not discussed anywhere else on the internet. The news articles seen in rotation on Neo's monitor report that the terrorist named Morpheus has eluded the police at an airport. Reading from the article, quote, "In London, as the search intensifies for the renowned terrorist leader Morpheus, a sighting has just been reported to this newspaper by British intelligence." End quote. The article further informs that world governments are searching for Morpheus and his terrorist group called the Resistance. Unfortunately, most of the information is impossible to read. In the book The Art of the Matrix, there is the story of Eddie and how Morpheus killed him, as well as storyboards of Morpheus in scenes that were deleted or never shot for the film. These stories or events are non-canon. They were never mentioned or acknowledged in any official The Matrix material. The reason why Morpheus was being pursued and labeled a terrorist has always been a mystery, that is until this video. After obsessively searching for Matrix 4 related material for future videos, we came across the official website of Studio C, a studio that worked with Warner Brothers on The Matrix Resurrections. The page has so much stuff about the movie that we could make a new series of videos. It's a goldmine for us. But the most interesting thing on the site is something that the graphic designer probably didn't realize he had revealed. A very important part of Morpheus's story. There is a section on the site that explains the special effects of the film. Quote, "Thomas Anderson's apartment, model. As a one-to-one recreation of the original film's opening sequence within the model experiment, we were tasked with painstakingly rebuilding and matching frame by frame the iconic Wake Up Neo text prompt, as well as the Searching for Morpheus screen and Trinity's Heart of the City Hotel laptop." End quote. Matching frame by frame is right on the money. This company was likely given the official reel or video of the news articles about Morpheus from the first film, and was tasked with recreating or remastering them. Are the two versions of the news articles, the ones from The Matrix and the ones from The Matrix 4, the same, with the same information? Or were they modified with new information made specifically for The Matrix Resurrections? We can't say for sure. News articles about the pursuit of Morpheus do appear in The Matrix Resurrections, but just like in the first film, if you blink, you miss them. You have to press that pause button. But on the Studio C website, the artist posted a reliable version of this clip, and the story of what Morpheus did was revealed. For the first time, we can read some of Morpheus's escapades before he freed Neo. Quote, "Morpheus, a violent cyber terrorist, has compromised traffic signaling systems throughout the metropolitan area, causing disruptions and delays of emergency assistance to affected areas. The attacks continue into the night and through the next day as bot networks directed by Morpheus tear apart at critical global infrastructure systems. The incident represents the latest chapter in an ongoing cyber attack perpetrated by Morpheus against civil society and innocent individuals worldwide. Earlier, the Metropolitan Cybersecurity Offensive retaliated with a malicious malware designed to return critical device locations and has the capability to access key device locations on the Morpheus network. This represented the first time the cybersecurity offensive exposed, in real time, the location of Morpheus. Morpheus is profiled as a highly sophisticated and high-risk individual." End quote. What needs to be understood here is that this part of the film, albeit a brief part, is officially canonical. It ties in with the rest of Morpheus' story. Now we can make better sense as to why Agent Smith was pursuing him instead of the police alone. From what we have gathered from this information, Morpheus hacked multiple traffic systems to possibly cause chaos, either for him and his people to escape from the agents, or to complete a mission within the Matrix, searching for the One, or talking to the Oracle. His hacking of traffic signals allegedly caused many accidents and maybe even casualties. The news clippings also report that a new malware program had to be created to track down Morpheus. Thus, Trinity was found in the first place in the first film. It was Morpheus' fault, not Cypher's, which we thought for all these years that he gave the agents access to their communication line. The malware is probably how the police and the agents found Trinity. All of this confirms what we already knew, that Morpheus is branded a terrorist, and these news articles are more propaganda. The focus on saying that Morpheus is attacking civilians is intended to scare people to immediately contact the authorities if he is seen, and to not make direct contact with him or his people. This would explain why Smith interrogated Neo the way he did. Morpheus's missions have caused collateral damage, but more importantly, it was disrupting the order within the simulation. So the sequence of events that we've patched together goes as follows. Morpheus hacks traffic control systems, then he escapes the British authorities, then intelligence groups try to apprehend him at an airport, a malware system is made and used to find Morpheus or any of his people, the tracking program pinpointed Trinity's location, and the Matrix movie begins. Maybe Morpheus did the hacking to evade the agents, or maybe he did it to disrupt or break the simulation and make people suspect that something is not quite right with reality. There is so much more written in these news articles, so much info that can cast new light on events never explored in the Matrix. But sadly, the words are too blurry to read. Maybe one day, with an advanced AI made specifically for text detection and improved character and image resolution, we can read all these newspaper clippings and learn more about the missing tales of the Matrix. But do you agree? Were you as shocked as we were at the revelation that Cypher had nothing to do with the agents finding Trinity in the opening sequence of The Matrix? Why did Morpheus hack a traffic control system? Upon closer examination, it would seem that Morpheus has far more control over the Red Pills and other programs than initially believed. So what if his story is darker than we originally thought? Number 2. Did Morpheus always work for the Matrix? Morpheus's in-person introduction also has an aura of mystery around it. We know that these actions were deliberate. The choice of location where to meet was part of the persuasion tactic. As revealed in Matrix Resurrections, the new Morpheus understands that the location and its atmosphere are important to enhance an emotional response. In this particular case, nostalgia.
Morpheus Uno, reveal at the window, lightning, thunder, and theater. At last. Set and setting, right?
Oh, no.
It's all about set and setting. Nothing comforts anxiety like little nostalgia.
This means that it's no coincidence that when Morpheus welcomes Neo, a thunderbolt appears in the background. It enhances the mysticism of the introduction. It was all a play to manipulate Neo. The Red Pill's clothing also played a part in the trickery. Something common in extremist groups is the leader dressing uniquely. Morpheus is a father figure who seems to know the truth behind the Matrix. However, instead of offering direct and clear explanations, he chooses a more manipulative approach. He tells Neo that he cannot explain to him what the Matrix is, and that he must experience it for himself. Again, enticement and persuasion are at play here, a dangling carrot, so to speak. Morpheus's choice to keep specific information secret and provoke Neo's curiosity is a powerful tool in guiding him towards his awakening, or rather, to add him to Morpheus's ranks of Zion's soldiers. He could have revealed the truth about the Matrix to Neo before offering him the pills. Morpheus did give him the choice between the blue and the red pill, but the choice was an illusion. Neo blindly went to the real world without knowing it and regretting it.
I can't go back, can I?
No. But if you could, would you really want to?
Now, although withholding information was part of Morpheus's strategy, there is still another explanation for why not to reveal the truth prematurely, or at all. There are things that some people connected to the Matrix cannot fully comprehend nor accept. It is possible that revealing the truth to Neo before taking the red pill could have activated a defense mechanism that will erase Neo's memory or expel him from the simulation, killing him. As long as a person is connected to the Matrix, they are an agent of the simulation.
If you are not one of us, you are one of them. That means that anyone we haven't unplugged is potentially an agent.
So while Morpheus may have manipulated Neo into being part of the resistance, there's always the possibility that he was just protecting him. There is a Matrix comic where a red pill showed the truth to his parents, and they died from shock after seeing the real world. Periodically revealing bits of truth is most likely a method to avoid the death of a blue pill. Whether for manipulation or security, what is clear is that when Neo woke up to the real world, he did not want to be there and preferred to be reconnected. but he had to fulfill his purpose, fighting alongside the resistance, but simultaneously fulfilling the plans of the machines to the letter. The Morpheus character is a reoccurring element in the Matrix, the One's mentor and savior. And so the bigger questions are, is Morpheus a villain? And could he still be alive? Number 1. Morpheus was always right, and he will return. During his youth, Morpheus was a joyous person. He danced and socialized. His energy was what conquered Niobe's heart, but later his obsession with the Oracle's prophecies turned him into a fanatic who only lived to find the One.
I remember you used to dance. I remember you were pretty good.
If Morpheus and Niobe's relationship persisted, Morpheus would have not sacrificed himself for Neo, because Niobe would have stopped him, or she would have been the one to go in and save Morpheus instead of Neo. Thus Neo would have never died at the hands of Smith, and the Anomaly's code would have never been activated. Neo needed to die to then be reborn as the One.
You got the gift, but it looks like you're waiting for something.
What?
Your next life, maybe. Who knows?
Now, after Morpheus realizes that the Oracle's entire story has been a lie, he naturally stops trusting her.
After everything that has happened, how can you expect me to believe you?
From then on, Morpheus never heeded the Oracle's words again. Then in the Matrix Resurrections, when the analyst was beginning his experiments with Neo and Trinity, rumors of his rising in power reached the Oracle's ears. The Oracle sent a warning to Morpheus, but he did not listen to her. He did not believe that what Neo had achieved could be destroyed.
But as rumors of this new power spread, he ignored them. He was certain what you had done could not be undone.
This showed that Morpheus's devotion to the Oracle's prophecies was gone. His distrust of the Oracle is what caused Zion's destruction. Sadly, the story of Zion's downfall and the Oracle's final warning to the humans was just a brief exposition line in Matrix Resurrections. A new movie, maybe not necessarily Matrix 5, could be about the machine's civil war, but from Morpheus' perspective as the Grand Chancellor of Zion, who had his dreams of destroying the Matrix doused after the revelation that he had been lied to all his life. His faith in Neo is the only thing he has left, but eventually Zion is destroyed, and Morpheus can do nothing but watch his city crumble. Or how about a movie with a modern twist, in which Morpheus is still alive and reveals that everything we saw in Matrix 4 was part of one big lie? Let us assume for a moment that what Niobe said about Zion and Morpheus were lies. What if Io is meant to be the new Zion? Niobe now works for the machines, and Morpheus still lives. What if the city of Io is nothing more than the Zion of the new Matrix cycle created by the analyst? If so, then the city of humans and machines is also destined to be destroyed. Let's think about this for a moment. The city of Io is a more utopian version of Zion. The city has a false sky, and its citizens can synthesize and grow food. The humans of the Matrix don't care if their sky or food are not real. They simply want to live in the comforts of the simulation, just as the analyst said.
You don't give a shit about facts. It's all about fiction. The only world that matters is the one in here. And you people believe the craziest shit.
Maybe Matrix 5 could be about the classic Morpheus, who is still alive and trying to warn Neo and Trinity that they are still trapped in the Matrix, that Io is part of the system and that they must fight to escape. Maybe Neo and Trinity think that they are the heroes of the story, but they are still trapped between simulations. It's the perfect excuse to bring back Lawrence Fishburne, and then we would have the real Morpheus waking Neo up one last time. Sure, we can make theories about how our favorite characters could return in Matrix 5, but Morpheus is just one of those characters that, if to return, would make the diehard fans go crazy. Around the time The Matrix Resurrections was about to premiere, writer David Mitchell who co-wrote the fourth film, was asked about the franchise's future, and he mentioned that Matrix 4 left many questions unanswered. He also briefly mentioned the machine's civil war. So the concept of a Morpheus movie is not necessarily off the table. It is within the realm of possible Matrix spin-offs.
This is not over yet. I will sequel franchise spin-off!
But do you agree? Will the real Morpheus return in Matrix 5? For Matrix Explained, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And thank you for visiting the Desert of the Real.